The Bright Lights preview season has been really great, man. I just got done binging all of the content so far for all the preview videos, and a lot of work has gone into those, man. I'd highly suggest watching them. I'll put a link in the description of this video to where all of the list of those videos are for Bright Lights preview season. But overall, man, it's a really cool set. And they're doing something new here, and I just want to talk about my first impressions, really what I think about the set overall in various aspects and everything. So, my first initial opinion on Bright Lights is versus any other Flesh and Blood set that has come out so far. This set is clearly geared to new players and onboarding new players into the game of Flesh and Blood, right? And you can point to Tolarian Community College onboarding, crack shuffle play, mono class specific cards in the box, right? You can only play with mechanologist cards. All of these aspects are clearly geared towards new players. Unlike other sets in the past, which have many different functions of, okay, you keep the existing people happy, you grow, you do all these things, it expands the format, expands the meta, it has all these different things. I feel like this set, first and foremost, the number one priority is to get new players into Flesh and Blood and onboard more easily. And it will be very interesting to me to see how well that is accomplished. And overall, from a outsider point of view, that's going to be pretty hard to really ascertain. But I think from LSS and the public at all, viewing how successful Bright Lights will be, it's all about player growth, man. It's all about getting new people into the game. Now, not to say that it's not going to appease certain people like the competitive players and the collectors and what have you. It's just the main focus. And the one thing I'm currently kind of on the fence with, and I'll definitely be interested to see what happens when people start playing with the actual cards, is how new players are able to ascertain what the card effects do and really how to play each deck and how easy it is to really comprehend what you're doing. So, back in the day, I've told this story before, but when people were playing Monarch for the first time, they were like, Bolton has to do what now? And this chain guy does what? Like, the effects on all the cards were just next level, right? And from an experienced Flesh and Blood player at the time, I loved it. I was like, holy shit, these heroes can do all these different things that weren't even possible before. Like, Bravo is just like, pay 2 resources, the attack gets dominated. Chain is like, put a chain counter, banish the top card of your deck every turn. Bolton was crazy, Prism was crazy. All these heroes had all these next level abilities, and the cards in the decks also had that. With these new cards for Bright Lights, the certain evil ones, it just definitely seems like there's a wall of text. There's a lot of text going on there, and there's a lot of different interactions that new players might not instantly comprehend of like what that does. Like a simple mechanic, for instance, is like a nimbleism, where target attack gets +3, go again, like bam, like that's what it is. And these Evo cards, it's like it does this and this and this and this. And from a design perspective, I'm happy that they're explaining what each effect does. I think that really enables the players not to like go to a different resource and have to look up different things like, oh, what is temper, what is blade break, what is crank, right? What do these mechanics mean? I'm glad they do explain it, but I think that some of the cards, the effects, it may be a little bit too much for them, but it's way too early to call that, man. It's just my initial impressions of it. I think that when they draft a new player drafting, it's going to be a lot easier. You don't have to worry about class specific cards. And I do see that they did add like a hidden feature in the border thing that really enables people to understand the cards better, which I do like. So I see a lot of promise, and I'm really looking forward to see how well that works. Now, another thing that I think some people in the community have talked about is how crazy the artwork is and the different technology that the people in the cards have. Like one guy has a fucking lightsaber. They have jetpacks. They have got like this battle armor, right? And then Azalea literally just has a bow and arrow. You know, how do these things interact in the same universe and make sense is the grasp of things. And especially with like Arcane Rising to now, like it definitely seems like stuff in the set are just next level. And I think what we're going to learn in the lore, and I hope this is in the lore, I feel like there's little tidbits of this, is that, you know, Metrix was a steam type of economy where that was the main type of energy source, right? Like in the United States and many countries right now, nuclear power is big, coal power and what have you. But in this society in Metrix on the map here, right? That's the city that we're in here. It used to be steam related, right? Everything was steam powered. That's the power source. But I think that with this set, it really has aether, or the magic in Flesh and Blood is being utilized with the technology to make it powerful. So I will be very interested to see all the different lore aspects and if it does weave that in. Like, hey, this is the reason why things look kind of ridiculous. Because if you look at the cards, some of the cards, they're holding crazy type of technology that doesn't really fit the theme of the main, like, you know, Flesh and Blood. All the other like heroes, and you know, they have like, you know, axes and swords and everything like that. And then in Bright Lights, people have like Gatling guns that are just mowing people down. So that seems pretty interesting. Something I do want to comment on a positive side is the Guardian stuff with the Professor. I like the whole protect mechanic. I like how we're making a Guardian guard. That sounds pretty cool. I've said in the past it was funny, like with certain things that are coming out for the Guardian, were like attack oriented. And I was thinking, well, I don't want to play an attackian. I'm playing a guardian. I want to guard. So having, you know, I think he has an extra shield now, which is awesome. And then the armor as well is really nice. I think that is definitely going to be used in Blitz. Even if it gives your opponent a quicken token, I don't think that's a really big deal if you time it right in the combat chain. Like, I think they have a Guardian now has boots that has 2 and a shield that has 2 block, which is like a ton of extra health in Blitz. I think we're definitely going to see that. I'm going to build a deck like that. I am literally going to build a, what is that, other Guardian with 21 health. It escapes me right now. The Bright Axe one. She has 21 health. I'm going to like have decked armor of all 2 block with a shield and the axe or the hammer, and it's just a ton of health, man. And if you with the boots, I think if you block right, you give your opponent a quicken token. But if you're not planning on blocking on turn, like let's say you have just gas in your hand, you could just block like the first attack that they do, and you know that they're going to go wide. Just give them a quicken token. Who cares? They'll use another attack action card after that, which probably already has go again anyway. And if not, you know, at least, you know, it's another 2 block. I think it'll be really good. So anyway, that's just to say I'm happy to see more block stuff, and I'm happy to see the protect mechanic with the Guardian. I think that's really nice. But overall, man, I see a lot of good reception of this whole set. I would also implore you, as I do with any set, is just buy the singles you need. Again, I support my local LGS, or I support my LGS. I don't have to say local because LGS also has local game store. Okay, so I support my LGS, the Haven Game Store. I have a link down below in all my videos for their website where they sell single cards for Bright Lights. But I would not buy them when they come out initially. I definitely wait your 3 weeks after the set is out to really buy the cards you need. The card prices, as always, spike when the game first releases. All the stores out there are just fast cracking boxes as fast as humanly possible and throwing them cards on TCG Player as fast as they can because they know they're gonna, you know, drop in price significantly after releases. Supply enters the market. Now, something I think that we will see with Bright Lights is The secondary market, in my opinion, not investment advice, I don't think it's going to move for a little bit. I think people are going to judge it hardcore. So now it is September 25th. So we're getting a little close to October. I don't think we see the total impact on the secondary market until like January through February and March next year in Q1 2024. And the reason being is because it takes players a little bit of time to play the game of Flesh and Blood, watch YouTube videos, talk to friends, get with friends, play the game more, do all this stuff. And, you know, they have work and other priorities in their life. It takes a new player a longer period of time to buy an initial starter product or any product at all, play with it for a little bit, enjoy it enough to get more competitive into the game or more collective into the game, and then later on buy those higher ticket game pieces like Command and Conquers and, you know, Enlightened Strikes. I mean, Enlightened Strikes, good price now, man. But what I'm saying is it takes them a while to buy their staples or their collector pieces. And I think this is going to be highly missed by a lot of people out there. People aren't going to really, like, it's not going to, like, click for them that this is happening. But, you know, mark my words, that's when I think we'll see the true impact of how good Bright Lights really onboarded people and how successful the Tolarian Community College product was. Because, you know, Brian made a couple videos last year, right? November 2022. Did phenomenally well. I'm very happy that he made those videos. And initially, what you saw, and you can't see this data now on TCG Player, but the Blitz decks sold incredibly well during that period. There's a massive sale on Blitz decks in November 2022. Then, in March, around March, in February in 2023, this year, there was a massive spike in a lot of single cards for Flesh and Blood. And you had a lot of content creators and a lot of people like, whoa, there's a resurgence of people buying cards. What's the deal? And the reason being was Brian's impact earlier, 3 months earlier. It took 3 months to 5 months for people to really, like I said, onboard into the game officially, play the games, get interested, do more research, and then eventually buy the cards and the singles they need. So I just want to emphasize that a lot because I think that that's a point that isn't really been said a lot. And I think that initially people might misinterpret the health of the market or the success of Bright Lights in you know, late 2023 saying, oh, it didn't look like it did so well. But then in 2024, when those tons of new players are getting into the game, then they're going to buy the products. And then that's where I think you're going to see certain market moves if you do see them at all. So that's just something to take into consideration. But overall, man, Bright Lights, I think it was a really great play from Legend Story Studios. You know, they've been making tons and tons of sets. I mean, it's almost 4 years of them being out, and this is their 11th set, which is wild to me. I mean, it's crazy how they've pumped out so many really great sets over the years. And what's great is I like how they're doing something new. You know, I'd rather them try something new and crazy and fun, and learn along the way than just do the same old set, over time. And I do really like the crack shuffle play thing. I think that out of everything from Bright Lights, the biggest success will be the crack shuffle play. The Tolarian Community College collab will be a great boon for people getting into the game. Do I think that the format there, the UPF will be successful? I don't know. It looks fun. It looks like a good gaming experience. But I think the crack shuffle play aspect is going to be really cool. I think that's going to be a really nice way for people to get in Flesh and Blood. Just, hey, crack some packs, put it together, you can play. I mean, it's that easy. So, I think that's all my thoughts. I'd be very curious to hear anybody's thoughts down below in the comment section of what you think about the set. And I'll definitely have to revisit just what I think about Bright Lights after the fact, once, we've opened boxes and seen the whole set and seen everything like that. I'm not going to be as brazen to tell you anything's overpowered or underpowered or anything like that if I haven't seen the cards being played at this point in time. There's probably a lot of really good cards. There's probably a lot of not very good cards, but we'll just have to see really how it plays out. So, cheers, man. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.